Good morning and all. Today we discuss Unit 19, the plant physiology. Already we seen in plant physiology introduction and a tropism in plants. What is means tropism? Tropism is a unidirectional movement of a whole or part of a plant towards the direction of stimuli. Next, the types of tropism: phototropism, geotropism, hydrotropism, thigmotropism, and hemotropism. First of all, what is means phototropism? Photo means light, the movement of a plant part towards the light. Example, shoot of a plant. Next, geotropism, movement of a plant in response to gravity. For example, the root system grows the direction of gravity. Example, the root of a plant. Next, hydrotropism, the movement of a plant or part of a plant towards a water. Example, the root of a plant. Next, thigmotropism, movement of a plant part due to touch. Example, the climbing veins. Next, hemotropism, movement of a part of a plant in response to chemical. Example, growth of a pollen tube in response to sugar present on the stigma. Next, the tropism is generally the term with the positive growth is towards a single and a negative is it is away from the single. Next, the positive phototropism, negative phototropism. For example, the shoot system, the stem growth respond to direction of sunlight, that is the positive phototropism. Next, the root growth the direction of gravity, that is the negative phototropism. Next, the root system growth the direction of gravity, that is the positive geotropism. The stem portion growth the direction of sunlight, that is the negative geotropism. Next, mostly the root or the growth below the soil and some root growth above the soil. The example, the rhizopora. The rhizopora roots are growth above the soil that turn the 180 degree. For what reason? For respiration. So in this topic the seen in before class. Now the scene is that the new topic is the Gnostic Moments. What is means Gnostic Moments? The Gnostic Moments are non-directional response of a plant or part of a plant due to stimulus. Based on the nature of stimulus, the Gnostic movements are classified as follows. Next, the Gnostic movements are three types. The one is photognostic, and another one is thigmonostic, and the last one is thermonostic. First of all, what is means photognostic? Photo means light. The movement of a part of a plant respond to light. Example, the Taraxacum officinale. In these flowers, the blooms in morning and close in evening. So in this the Taraxacum officinale, in these flowers the blooms in morning and close in evening. Next, Hypomia alba. So the Hypomia alba is a moon flowers. In these flowers are open in night time, the close in daytime. Next, thigmonostic, the movement of a part of a plant in response to touch. For example, the Mimosa pudica totalgeningi touch one point, suddenly all the leaf is folding. Next, it is also known as seismonostic. Next, the Venus flytraps. Dionia muscipula. So the Dionia muscipula is here present in the septacle, the example of the thigmonostic. It is the fastest known as the Gnostic movement. Next, thermonostic, the movement of a part of a plant in associated with a change in temperature. Example, the tulip flowers. example, the tulip flowers blooms as the temperature increase. Next, what are the difference between the Gnostic and trophic movements? Trophic and Gnostic movement. So the unidirectional respond to the stimuli, particular directional. For example, stem portion. Mostly the stem portion grow the direction of sunlight. Next to the root portion grow the direction of gravity. So the trophic movements is a unidirectional response to stimuli. Next, Gnostic movements are non-directional response to stimuli. So the non-directional response to stimuli means the flowers are open and close. Next, the growth dependent the movements. The trophic movements is a growth dependent movements. For example, stem portion, root portion. So that is a growth. Next, Gnostic movements is a growth independent movements. Next, the more or less permanent and irreversible. Next, the Gnostic movements are temporary and reservable. Next, the trophic movements is found in all plants. The Gnostic movements are found in only the few specialized plants. Next, the trophic movements are slow action. And Gnostic movements are immediate action. Okay. Next, we see the new topic is photosynthesis. First of all, what is means photosynthesis? Already we seen photo means light. So the photo means light and synthesis means to build. Thus the photosynthesis literally means the building up with the help of light. During the process, the light energy converted into chemical energy. The green plants are the autotrophic in their mode of nutrition because they prepare the food material through the process called photosynthesis. Mostly, what are the raw materials of plants prepared for photosynthesis? The one is chlorophyll and another one is water. Third one is carbon dioxide and last one is sunlight. So in these materials the plants where and all obtained from. For example, sunlight. The plants sunlight obtained from atmosphere. Next, carbon dioxide. The plants carbon dioxide obtained from through the atmosphere. Next, water. The plants obtain the water in soil through the root. Next, the leaf already have the chlorophyll pigment. Next, water and carbon dioxide. The converted into carbohydrate. So in this process is called photosynthesis. The help of the sunlight and chlorophyll. First of all, water and carbon dioxide. Converted into carbohydrate. The help of sunlight and chlorophyll. So mainly the four raw materials the plants prepare the food. The one is chlorophyll and second one is water, third one is carbon dioxide and fourth one is sunlight. First of all, the plant sunlight obtained from directly the sun, and next carbon dioxide plants obtained from in atmosphere, and third one is water. The plants obtain the water from soil through the root. Next, the already leaf have chlorophyll pigment. Next, carbon, water and carbon dioxide. Converted into carbohydrate. The help of sunlight and chlorophyll. Is called photosynthesis. Next, what are the reaction? Carbon dioxide, water. Converted into carbohydrate or glucose. The help of chlorophyll and sunlight. Is called photosynthesis. Next, the end product of photosynthesis. Is the glucose will be the converted into starch stored in the plant body. The end of the photosynthesis, glucose will be converted into starch and stored in the plant body. Mostly the plants take the carbon dioxide. For photosynthesis in daytime. But the plants for living, the plants also need oxygen. They carry on the cellular respiration. Okay. Thank you one and all. Next class will be the start the transpiration. Okay. Thank you one and all.